Hi everybody. Ooh, oopsies. Trouble right from the start. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to see you all today because we are going to start a new journal. That's right. We're going to start a new journal, and I'm going to direct this video to people who have never started an art journal before because it's super fun, and I think it is just one of the best things you can do in your life for really so many reasons. So my plan today is to show you a couple things. First of all, I finished this journal, the one that I did a walkthrough a while ago, which is awesome. I had wanted to just show a couple of the spreads, which I will literally do right now because it's fun to see. I decided to do some pattern work. I'm really fond of making these patterns, and it was a nice way to end the book. So there are the last couple spreads. I have some notes, some things I was working on. Oh, this was a little spread I did with some thumbnailing. We can talk about thumbnailing as well. Okay, so let's talk about the minimal supplies you need to get started with an art journal. I started with the Koi watercolors. These are super affordable considering the variety of colors you get and the beauty of these kits. This one is very similar to the one that I started with. I actually did the even smaller color set, which is about half the size of this one. The colors are lovely. It's really fun to get used to watercolor. The brush is very simple. You fill this with water, you put this brush top on, and it's good to go. You don't even need to undo it again until you need the brush repository filled again. These are little sponges you can use to maintain and manage the level of water on your brush. And this is a really nice little kit. Highly recommend the Kois for people who've never done any art journaling before and just want to see if they even like it. Then, of course, the book is really important. This is a Moleskine. I really do recommend starting with something like this. The good thing about the Moleskine watercolor sketchbook is this idea that there's cold press paper here, which is thicker than your typical paper, and it takes paints beautifully. So I highly recommend this. Really nice one. Other alternatives, I do actually love these art creation books. This is not watercolor paper, so this is great if you're working with markers or other tools. And even if you just want to do pure pencil or pure ink, that is great. These are really good sketchbooks for that. So then going on to some other things, this is just a small water bucket, basically. One thing that works really well is those mason jars from whatever that French jam company is. I love a jam jar. This happens to be something I think I got at an art supply store, probably from Blick. But this is just a small container. Probably it's in one of the paint sections, but I'm using it for watercolor. And it's a handy thing because it's only a couple of ounces, so I can take this on a plane. It can be in my carry-on, and it's not a problem. This is the size that I like most when I'm going to be on the go. And then here's my bag of other supplies. So I like to have things organized, so I have a little kit. Here's another brush that goes nicely. I love to have glue with me at all times. This one I like more than others. It tends to do really well with photographs, within books, and all that sort of stuff. I do enjoy that glue. In particular, I'll put links down below. I really can't live without these binder clips. It holds everything in place while you're working, and it's great for photography. I love a brush pen. So this is great. It's got incredible, like a lovely tip that is, you can do fine or thick lines, and the ink stays put after you put it down, so you can go over it with paint once you're done. For something even a little more simple, but still really handy, a Sharpie. I love a Sharpie. I especially love Sharpie for people who are just getting started. What a fantastic way to explore how you paint, how you draw. And again, it's a permanent marker, so it doesn't run when you go over it again with watercolor. Some artists really swear by microns. I'm less in love with microns. I actually would prefer a Sharpie almost every day of the week, but I will say that I started my journal with Sharpie and with microns, and I learned a ton from it. So it's worth doing. And then some pencils, whether you are using a traditional pencil with a pencil sharpener, which is a totally fine way to go. It gets a little messy over time, or this is a Graph Gear 1000. This is a little bit of a fancier mechanical pencil. But I love these because you don't have to carry a sharpener if you don't feel like it. So these are actually really handy to have on hand. My absolute favorite pen for writing as well as for urban sketching and drawing and things like that is this Pentel, let's see, it's an Arts Hybrid Technica. This one happens to be 0.6. I really love the 0.4 because I like a finer point when I'm drawing. Though lately I've been on a thicker line kick, so this one is really great. And again, it's permanent. Once you put it down, it stays where it is. And then finally, white. I struggle to get like the best possible white marker. I think Posca's make a really nice one. This one I always have in my sketch kit. It works often. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. Sometimes they dry out, but they are wonderful if you have to do like the white of an eye, like that little spot that you see sometimes when you do people portraits or animal portraits or whatever. And they're great for just adding sort of visual interest if you want to add a little bit of opaque white over some of the work you're doing. This is actually a cartridge for this pen, which is handy. So if this runs out, I can refill it. I like to do that whenever possible. And so that's that. And I like that all of this can fit into a small container. And I've done this on trips all over the world. It's neat to go sit in a cafe someplace and just have a moment to yourself. It's a great way to observe and process the world around you. And it's fun to do it in this little small kit. So these are all ready to go. Fits in a handbag, fits in a carry-on. You're all set. All right, so you've got your kit, you've got your sketchbook. What are you gonna do? One thing that I have found super helpful is looking at other people's sketchbooks and art journals. And this book in particular, the Chronicle Books Illustrators Sketchbooks, is incredibly fun to flip through and to look for that inspiration. I just feel like every page is just such a gift. And you can really see, this is, for example, one that I really love. The color is applied in a very rough, almost a stamp kind of a way, like with a sponge. So the colors are very, and also very like monochromatic. This is green, orange, and a kind of a Payne's gray, maybe this khaki color up here, like a neutral buff titanium. And then it's really a landscape done completely in ink. These are just, every page is just a treasure. That particular page is Edward Bawden. So I just picked a couple of pages to highlight because this book is so incredible. Emma Carlisle is a really incredible, inspiring artist. She has a Patreon, I believe it's still active. Absolutely worth checking her out, especially if you have any interest in landscapes, but really just inspiring in general. So definitely recommend checking her out. Look at that. I just am like flipping through in every page. This is Christopher Core. My God, look at that. It's just so beautiful. And when you really break it down, it's not technically hyper realistic or anything. It's just got this wonderful feeling. So this is from Christopher Carr's Morocco sketchbooks, Pink Mud Walls, Essaouira. So you get the sense of the scene. You've got the birds up above, the trees, the little characters who are not, they're done in a kind of a naive fashion. They're not perfect, but you get a sense of the place, which is really cool. And what I think is fun to see. This is Martin Salisbury. Really cool to just see somebody sketching their class. Again, things don't have to be extraordinary travels. You can just sketch the day-to-day and have a nice record of part of your life. And done in an interesting way, it's great. So this page is Helen Stevens. Again, she's sketching her dog with colored pencil. How fantastic is that? It's such a wonderful snapshot, such a nice slice of life. And then she gets into some more complex landscapes, but they are all records of what she's done. And to be clear, like even this page, which is pretty complex, she's done it with what is probably, I would say, watercolor and with an ink overlay. So even just the tools that we've talked about so far today could be used to create a spread like that. Obviously, she has honed her style and is just an incredible artist. But for inspiration, this is a wonderful book to go back to. Oh my gosh, look at this one. Look at the skiers. How incredible is that? The skiers are so wonderful. This looks almost, I don't know, like a circus maybe scene or something that looks like a strongman maybe lifting something. I don't know. I just know that I love the texture and the color. This is all really cool. Let me tell you the artist there. That's Peng Wu, and you can really see some gorgeous work here. So just for inspiration, really fun to go through this. Check out the book. I'll put a link below so you can track it down if you're interested. Again, just a really wonderful, God, even look at that. This is just so beautiful, and it's just black and white and just a real focus on shape and form. So I just can't say enough about this book. Check it out. Wait, what's that one? Did I talk about that one? What did I do there? Let's see. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, great. There it is. Let's make some really good to do and can help you break in your new notebook is to just swatch out the materials that you have to play with. And I will do that now using this tool, using the stuff that we have, because it's just fun. It's really fun, really. But I love these little sprayers. It just makes things go a little quicker. And with watercolor, it is great to wet the entire palette before you get started and let it sink in a little bit, because then the paints will be much more, they're basically activated. And so that's a really helpful thing to do. Now, oftentimes my very first spread will be a collection of swatches. Basically what that means is just putting a little dab. This is a dirty white because I've used this collection before. And one thing you can do, which is really helpful, is to have a paper towel close by, because it just helps get that extra paint off. If you're seeing like that yellow is like dirty already, I'm just gonna do it again because I wanna get it a little cleaner so you can really get a sense of what the colors are like. And then this is more of almost an ochre color. It's a little warmer, moving a little more towards orange. I'm gonna go all the way across. You can go down, you can do honestly whatever you want. The whole goal here is for you to understand your materials and for you to put something down on the page and start to make this sketchbook your own. I love doing this and I find it incredibly relaxing. And I think already you've got a page that says something. Maybe it's a rainy day. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's a rainy day like it is here in the Hudson Valley. Maybe you have a nice cup of tea beside you. Maybe you are thinking this is going to be a book that's going to document some important project in your life. Maybe it's about trying to capture details of your baby or your puppy's first year. Maybe you're planning a trip that's coming up and this is something you're doing to get ready to really be fully present on that trip. You don't want to just take photos and post them on Instagram. You want to sit and really take things in. You're imagining yourself in a cafe in France and taking a minute to really pull in everything that you're seeing. This is a really relaxing exercise. I don't have markers or pencil crayons or anything like that right now, but if I did, I could add those. One thing that I do really love to do, and I highly recommend, okay, so there it is. That's the set. My God, the colors are so good. Really, for such an affordable set, this is really, it's pretty remarkable. And sorry about the white. It's just dirty. Oopsies. Anyway, we'll go back over it. White is always a problem for me. I think I'm very messy. So that's the beginning. All right, I am just going to pull out a pen because what I want to do is let this page dry. And while it is drying, I'm going to just write a few notes about what we're doing and why this was a fun little spread to create. And that's it. Your first spread is complete. Now make sure you let it dry completely. I can see how that's like a little shiny. I can't close the book yet because it is still wet. This is the beginning of your journey. I just can't wait to see what you make. Please do tag me either here. You can leave a message in the comments where I can find you. You can also find me on Instagram, and that's Wohlarts, WOHLARTS. And please show me what you've been making. I'd love to see your first spread. I'd love to see if you've been journaling and thinking. We have so much to talk about, and I'm really excited about our journey together. Okay, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.